the sweet comeuppance of risk. If you wear a lotus in your hair, it'll fly with the horn. If you wear a lotus in your hair, it'll fly with the horn. Marine intrusion moving soft. Moving soft. Don't you want to be music? Don't you want to be music and fog? Don't you want to be music and fog and ease into the daybreak, a cosmic event? Sound and rain. Yeah, like rain. A lot of the things I want to talk to you about today, to me, actually happened. I don't mean like they happen like in my real life. Me, Zaki herself, sweating and with bleeding things. I've scratched my leg and it happened. I don't mean like that. It happened. I mean like it really happened, like my heart flew open and I could see things that weren't there and I could feel people who were years and years away from me. I mean, like that happened. Do you understand the difference? Okay, good. Then this is something that really happened. And I named a whole series for it. I spent a lot of time in Texas and in Trinidad. And in Texas and Trinidad and New Mexico, there's a very high population of lizards. And I grew very fond of these creatures who come in fabulous, brilliant colors and sneak up on you when you're in the shower or when you're lying in the tub or when you're trying to get up in the morning and you think no one's there. And then all of a sudden, so I became fascinated with living lizards, you know, the ones that would come to the bathroom or in the tree. And then I saw a photograph of a man's torso, buffed as it was, tattooed with the sinew of lizards, just lizards' bodies coming out of his every muscle. It was an awesome sight. And that became my sensual commitment of the year. This is not a funny story. This is a love story. Okay, ready? All right. A dogon iguana, one eye open, seeing me, seeing my dreams creep like David Roussev's feet from my finely cut pecs. Broadway built niggas on gleaming bridges admire so much they stop and smile, snaggle-toothed, gleaning. All they know I bet not toy with they dreams swimming atop the Rio Grande in rainy season. So my calves tease the border patrol. Jalisco court and dance? No, Sonora harvest. Toes, water, ritmo, made it. Land, tattooed like his arms. Lizard slithering atop the wet crossing toward Aqaba, toward me. Like silk, his skin demands a human touch. Can you smell it? The pimiento and dust, lettuce and uva now hard as muscle as his lips drawn permanently against steam rushing from dark patterned family espresso pots. Papi, ¿esto listo? ¿Está listo? Como some four-legged underwater creature, lithe, 6 million years old, a conspicuous cholo agasao. When he quotes Marti, nobody notices but me. By the malecón hidden in the tides rising with each morena's wail etched on our skin. How could she know Guillen, the tricky Cubano, light on his feet? A black ox covered with ribbons and bloody medals for its amazing grace. How El Son trips sacred from his laughter and La Habana Vieja rolls her eyes, 'cause once these words, fragiles, full of Coney Island bubbles, float from mouth to nose to Miami. The tortured negrita in Santo Domingo, whose mommy sewed polyester hems while Trujillo imitated Porfirio's dreams of his own statue, loose rice powder around the bronze of his brow. My lizard stretches one limb toward mahogany branches worn away by many poets tired and lonely. One water buffalo yearning for one chord from Yomo Toro. The lizard on the other side of the border whose breath blends with hibiscus, sweet tequila, and my hair. Lizard closes his eyes, skin now roughened crepe, limbs cut by the galloping Apaches outside Denver, nestled by painted trunks of trees, rest in peace, that leave the Grand Concourse a great fiesta or a New Orleans funeral trail. We smell each other from separate territories. My scent confines me to specific soils, far from the swamps and rivers. The lizard traps my ankles without a sound. The pouch taut around someone's mouth fallen open. The cafecito is sweet, see, puppy? When I wiggle, seeking my natural state of repose, my skin is silk to touch, tattooed, a Dogon iguana in her own soft bone splay. But actually, I'm over there. No, over here. You see, I crossed the border right in front of your eyes. Thank you, guys. I want to tell you all thank you for coming out with me this afternoon. And you remember when they had the steamboats that were segregated? How many remember that? You don't remember the steamboats on the river that were segregated and we could never go on them, but you could look at them all the time? Sometimes I feel like that's one of the best reasons to be raised here. Because the river will take you anywhere, no matter what else is standing still. The river opens whole vistas, even if you have never been around the block. Something can take you up or down river. So I'm thanking you and the land for having given me so much to make my life so rich. But one of the things I discovered in the richness that has been my life is that there is a monotony and a clockwork likeness clockwork like that, no. A clockwork feeling to something that is horrible, to some things that are terrible. They come almost like the sea and the tide comes in, and there's nothing we can do, it seems like. But some of these things we do to ourselves. And that, I think, we can do something about. So I'm going to talk about this.
Every 3 minutes, a woman is beaten. Every 5 minutes, a woman is raped. Every 10 minutes, a little girl is molested.
But I rode the subway today. I sat next to an old man who may have beaten his old wife 3 minutes ago or 3 days. 30 years ago, he might have sodomized his daughter, but I sat there because the young men on the train might beat some young women later on in the day, or tomorrow I might not shut my door hard enough, shut it fast enough. Every 3 minutes it happens. Some woman's innocence rushes to her cheeks, pours from her mouth like the Betsy Wetsy dolls have been torn apart, their mouths split and menses red. Every 3 minutes, a shoulder is jammed through plaster in the oven door, chairs pushed through the rib cage, hot water or boiling sperm decorate her body, and I rode the subway today and bought a paper from a young man who might have held his old lady onto a hot pressing iron. I don't know, maybe he catches little girls in the park and rips open their behinds with steel rods. I couldn't decide what he might have done. I only know
Every 3 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes.
So I bought the paper looking for the announcement. There has to be an announcement of the women's bodies found yesterday, the missing little girl. I sat in a restaurant with my paper looking for the announcement, and a young man served me coffee. I wonder, did he pour boiling coffee on the woman because she was stupid?
Every 3 minutes.
Did he put the infant girl in the coffee pot with the boiling coffee because she cried too much?
Every 5 minutes.
What exactly did he do with hot coffee?
Every 10 minutes.
And I looked for the announcement, the discovery of the dismembered woman's body. The victims have not all been identified. Today they are naked and dead, refuse to testify. 1 girl out of 10 is incoherent. I took the coffee, I spit it up. I found the announcement, not the woman's body floating in the river, not the child bleeding in the 59th Street corridor, not the baby bleeding broken on the floor.
There is some concern that alleged battered women might start to murder their husbands and lovers with no immediate cause.
I spit up, I vomit, I am screaming. We all have immediate cause.
Every 3 minutes. Every 5 minutes. Every 10 minutes. Every day.
Before I ride the subway or buy a paper, drink coffee, I must know, have you hurt a woman today? Did you throw a child across a room? Are the little girl's panties in your pocket? Did you hurt a woman today? I have to ask these obscene questions because the authorities require me to establish immediate cause.
Every 3 minutes. Every 5 minutes. Every 10 minutes. Every day.
That's Claude, Hamiet, and London.